Hello, here we are. We are back. We are back, healers. I'll give it a minute for everybody to jump on as I get the booger. Well, I had a little bit of a booger, I think. Hopefully I got it. Hey, what's up? Give you guys a minute to jump on. Give you guys a moment. Get out my notes, shall we? Hey, so I want to be able to see the comments. Yeah, let's bring that out. All right. Oh, this has been amazing. I've got to be honest. Like, this has been such an incredible event. And I know it's mine, but I'm just going to put it out there that I'm learning so much. I've got notes and notes and notes. I just made a post inside of the group asking what your number one takeaway has been, or what some of your takeaways have been. So I want you to make sure that when we're done here, right, before you leave, I want you to post inside the group some of your best takeaways, some of your favorite speakers, some of the things that you learned, because some people might not have gotten the same nuggets that you did. And some people might not know that they needed the nuggets that you got, right? So that'll be super, super powerful. Yeah, it went by so fast, right, Annette? It's like crazy. It's crazy how fast it went. I'm like, wait, day one's already over? It's okay. You got 2 more days with me, right? We got 2 more days, and we've literally got speakers upon speakers for tomorrow talking Facebook parties, how to build with Facebook parties or Facebook events. What else are we talking about tomorrow? We've got Marissa, who is going to be speaking about building brand imagery on social media, which is going to be super, super important because collaborating with Kimberly Olsen's tomorrow. That's going to be awesome. Bryn Lang will be speaking tomorrow, right? Yeah. Julie Reynolds. Whatever. The schedule's on the healerdashboard.com. That's where it is. Yes. Catch up. You guys absolutely can catch up. Best event I have ever attended. Oh, thank you. Oh, it means so much to me. Thank you so much. You're freaking amazing. I'm a huge follower of Michelle Cunningham, and I'm glad she recommended this. Ah, amazing. I can't wait to have her speak tomorrow. She's one of my besties and love her so much. So let's get into the goods. How many of you are like, this is great. I need my story now? How many of you feel like if you had a story that you could literally spit out in 60 seconds, that you could talk to more people? See, here's the thing. I'm going to teach you how to create conversation. We're going to teach you how to create conversation through this whole summit tomorrow. How to create conversation on Instagram, how to create conversation with the 333. I'm training on that tomorrow. How to create conversation on TikTok, on Instagram. I think I said that. Facebook, right? All the things. YouTube. We're even going to talk about YouTube, right? How to create conversation. Now you need to know the story. Some of you feel like you should have a story about making millions of dollars. And I want to tell you that you actually don't need to have a story where you make millions of dollars in order to inspire someone, in order to get someone to the next step. See, sometimes we're so focused on getting to the top that we forget that there's stairs. We can't fly, people. We have to walk up the stairs to get to the top. And so when we're talking to people, when we're creating conversation, when we're inviting them, it's steps. It's steps to take them to get to the top to where they're going to enroll. And then there's a whole new staircase to help them grow, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But so many of you are focusing on telling this $1 million story because you hear $1 million earners talk all the time because you're getting trained by them. You forget that your prospects are not getting trained by $1 million earners. In fact, making $1 million means super rich and is not even possible. Ray talked about today how we're spoiled, right? We're spoiled because we can invest as little as some companies $30, some all the way up to $1,000, some more. But let's just say it's $1,000. We can literally invest $1,000 and more than times 10 our return in 6 months. That's not even normal. We have we have to take a step back and realize that these people that we're talking to, they just don't get it. Unless you're talking to someone who gets network marketing or who's been in network marketing before, it's stepping stones. These people need to be guided. You got to hold their hand, right? So let's talk about crafting your story. Let's talk about it. I got some slides for you. So here we go. Make sure it's there. All right, here we go. I'm going to help you crafting a story that sells. Your story needs to have posture. It needs to have inspiration. It needs to have relatability, and it needs to have authority. I'm going to say it again. When you have a story that doesn't have posture, it's like you're inviting someone to get a nose job from a doctor who isn't sure if it's going to be a good one. Who the heck wants to get you want to get plastic surgery from a doctor who doesn't have posture? Negative, Ghost Rider. How many of you got that? Well, right? Top Gun? No? Maybe? All right. You got to have posture. So if you're inviting someone to learn about money and you don't have posture, you're probably repelling people. So when you think about posture, I don't want you to think cocky, right? I don't want you to think cocky. I don't want you to think like, I have a Lambo. I made a post on Instagram and I was like, the Lamborghini posts don't inspire me and they never have. And I posted a picture of me and my mom mobile, my brand new truck, right? So if you think your posture means making bazillions of dollars, you're confused. Because what inspires me is not money. What inspires me is those moms, those women that were on stage telling me, even though it was hard, they got through it. Relatability. I'm a mom. I relate to moms. Authority in my story is I'm a little bit further than where you are right now. Let me show you how to get there. So you don't have to flash paychecks. You don't have to flash money. People don't even believe how much money I make. So I don't even talk about it unless I'm training, unless I'm in this environment to build authority. When I'm recruiting or when I'm prospecting, I'll tell you right now, nobody knows how much money I make. I'll never forget. Oh my gosh. My girlfriend came down from Jersey. She's not in here, so I can talk about her. So my girlfriend came down from Jersey. I hadn't seen her in forever. And she unfortunately came down because my aunt had passed away in 2017, and she came down for the funeral. And I remember we're sitting in the house, and she's like, what do you do for work? And I was like, don't you follow me on social media? Like, I don't have a job. Like, I'm in network marketing. And she's like, yeah, but what does that really mean? And I'm like, okay, so I work like with a company, and they have a product and I sell their product, but I also teach people how to come in and sell their product. And I do it all from social media. She's like, but do you really make money? Meanwhile, she's sitting in my brand new home. She sees the cars that are in the driveway. I think she was more asking because she was a nurse and I think she's tired. And I think that she honestly was trying to ask, right? So I wasn't being cocky. But I kind of laughed a little bit because it was a little bit funny the way she was asking me, because like, dude, you could have called me on the phone and asked me this question. Long story short, when I told her how much money I made, she literally dropped her phone and looked at me and was like, you're lying. And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, well, you know what? That's not everybody can get to where you are. Immediately, it went straight to negativity because of her money mindset. Love her to death, but that's her own thing, right? But her money mindset. So we don't want to create obstacles when we're having conversation. We want conversation to happen. We want questions to be asked, but we don't want to create obstacles. And if you are talking about money and that doesn't inspire someone, they're going to either one, feel like they can't do it, or two, they're going to feel like it's only for the rich people or the lucky ones. And so that doesn't even need to be in your story. Yeah, she probably was like, are you a drug dealer? You know, Lori, yeah, she probably thought that. So when you're crafting a story that sells, I like to think about how I can inspire the most influential prospects I have to buying or joining my business faster. How can I inspire first the most influential prospects I have to buying or joining my business faster? Next, I think about how could I choose the right story to tell my prospects instead of playing the cat and mouse game with them? How about how can I become a storyteller on any social media platform? Is all this stuff like, yes, this is the stuff I want? Is this the kind of story you want? How can I inspire the most influential prospects I have to buy or join my business faster? If you want that, we got you. How can I choose the right story to tell your prospects instead of playing the cat and mouse game with them? How can you become a storyteller on any social media platform? How can you leverage the power of stories to create 3 to 5 new customers a week? And how can you inspire with your stories and not word vomit all over your people? Can I get a yes in the comments? Okay, so here we go. I want you to know scripts are great, but if you're going to inspire someone to buy, you got to have a unique story. That's what's going to make you stand out. So my cubicle to throne, Moms and Heels, started off as a way for me to create a community for my network marketing business. Then it turned into a brand. Kim Flem, you heard her earlier. She created this incredible brand. It wasn't to make money off her brand. It was her branding where she created it for a conversation starter. Once someone is inspired by a story, they're more likely to buy from you. Because when inspiration comes, they start to wonder if they can. Listen to what I just said. When inspiration comes, they start to wonder if they can. They're not sold yet, but they're at a place where they're like, maybe I can do that too. Negativity is going to be trying to knock them down, though. Prospects will sell themselves once they're inspired to a certain point. Seriously, crazy, right? So sometimes you tell your story and then you start to word vomit. I want you to take a step back, tell your story, and ask questions. Tell your story, ask questions. Tell your story, ask questions. Here's some questions I have for you. How many times a day are you telling your story? Are you telling your story every single day? People make emotional decisions. So if people make emotional decisions, your story can create a connection. That's what money in the bank equals. I am a paid storyteller. I get paid to tell stories, not fake ones, not lies. I get paid to tell stories of what I went through. Sometimes I feel like I get paid to go through therapy because it's so crazy. Like sometimes I'll sit here and be telling my story and then I come to moments where I'm like, damn, I'm a badass. Yeah, wow, I didn't realize it, right? Like this, I feel like this, sometimes it's illegal for me to get paid to tell my crazy, scary stories. Connection plus storytelling equals money in the bank. Emotions trigger humans to buy. I want my daughters to have every toy they want, so that's what triggers me to buy a stupid amount of toys. I wanted Jason to have a really nice car when we got enough money because he's always done so much for me, and that was my way of giving back emotionally. I was connected to that, right? When I first made my first check with a comma in it, that was more than $2,000 a month because that's how much I used to make as when I was a single mom back in the day. When I had my first check, that was like $1,500 from network marketing. I went and bought myself a nice purse because it was an emotional decision that I made. Your story needs to connect and move these prospects through emotional states to make a decision to buy. So where are you telling your stories? Somebody's asking that in the comments, and I was going to get to that, but I'll answer that now, Bonnie. You're going to tell your story to the people you're 333 and connecting to. When someone asks you, what do you do? It's your story. When someone asks you about your product, it's your story. And you might have a business story and you might have a product story. That's okay. But you need to have that 60-second pitch, especially for social media. Now, some of you are doing Facebook Lives. I hope you share your story. You should have a 60-second story that you share. For some of you, it's your mission statement. I probably created it for you. You're welcome. Sorry, I had to just do that because I didn't say you're welcome today and it felt really awkward. Okay, so let's talk about it. Oh, look, can I play this? Yes. Let's talk about what to avoid, shall we? Let's avoid the I'm poor conversation. Like, please, desperation. What do I mean by this? Like, I have like 2 spots left on my team. Will you join my team? Oh, God, I see those posts and I cringe. Nobody wants a Debbie Downer in their life, right? Do you remember this actual from like the movie Bridesmaids? Like, I was like so uncomfortable for this chick. I was like, you're making me uncomfortable. Stop whining. See, here's the deal. The story that you're telling on social media right now might suck because you're bitching and complaining. I said it. I'm going to just say it. There's a way for you to share your obstacles, and we're going to go through this. When do I do that? Day 3? Day 2? I don't remember. One of the days I'm going to actually help you with your content strategy and finding those 5 pillars that you're going to stay in. But and I'm going to teach you how to do a curiosity post. And I'm going to teach you how to be vulnerable without being a baby. Yes. Think about that. I mean, I love that unfriend button because anytime I see any kind of negativity of like nonsense of just boo-hooing, oh, boo, I can't even. It drives me nuts because listen, we all have the same opportunity. Promise. Okay, so we need to avoid that on social. Okay, I want you to think about when you start to create conversation with someone and when you tell your story, these are some questions I want you to ask yourself. Were you prepared? Were you prepared? Like, were you prepared in knowing that prospect? You need to know them. So especially on social media, if you have time, the 333, which we're going to go over later, but 3 comments, 3 hearts, 3 replies to stories, you should get to know them a little bit. Were you prepared? Could you answer the questions with confidence? Were you too anxious to make the sale? Could I overcome objections with a story? Listen to what I'm telling you right now. If someone comes to me and they say, I don't have the money to start, I say, you know what? I didn't have the money to start either. When I first got started in network marketing, I actually had to borrow the money to get started. It's true. That's a way to handle an objection, a story. What did John Melton just say? I don't know about that, but all I know is this. The story. The stories are what inspires people. Okay? So could they relate to your story you were telling them? This is honestly like an interview process for people that I want to work with sometimes when I'm like, do they relate to me at all? Because if they think I'm weird, we're not going to work well together. So it probably just isn't going to work. So let's just kind of get over that thing, right? So if they couldn't relate to me and it was just kind of hard having a conversation, honestly, I'm probably going to keep it moving. Number 6, was I being defensive or was I being inspiring? I want you to think of every conversation you have as you being a mentor, whether they enrolled with you or not. You need to look at them. You need to mentor them. That's what I'm trying to say here. Any conversation I have, I'm looking at how I can serve. Denny talked about that today. We need to be showing up impact over profit. So this way we can serve. We have a gift to give. We have to be postured to give the gift. And it's okay if people don't accept the gift, but we've got to be postured. We have to be inspiring. Oh, is it one of those pyramid things? Why are you getting defensive? That's all they know. They don't know any different. Come back with a story. Oh my gosh, I used to think those pyramid things were bad too. My Uncle Sean or my Uncle Jan or my grandfather got stuck in one of those pyramid scheme things. Yeah, this isn't one of those. Use a story. End with posture. Don't get defensive. Be inspiring. Be inspiring. Crafting a story that sells. We're going to get into crafting your story. You have a lot of homework. I know. but get over it because my mom's a teacher and I blame it all on her. I just blame my mom. Justification. You like that? Blame game. Don't do it. But anyway, you're going to actually craft your story. You're going to craft your story. And I want you to share your story in the group, and I want you all to look at each other's stories. And maybe let me make this clear really quick because I didn't say this. I didn't think I had to, but I should have. There's absolutely no recruiting, no spamming of links. There's no nonsense in the healer community. You will be banned for life. We actually have a list of people that get banned for life if they don't follow our rules. So please be mindful. Everybody in here has a company. Keep it moving. I just have to say that. We had to ban someone today. All right. So anyway, crafting a story that sells, 5 simple steps. 1, your background. I used to work in a cubicle. Now, I want to tell you what I really used to do. I worked for a third-party company for Amazon, and I actually built their whole system of shipping. I was the controller. I also did billing. It was nuts. I did way too many things. I had 3 computers at my desk, and I did not get paid enough, like at all. And in fact, when I actually quit, they had to hire 3 people to replace me. But I don't tell people all that. I say I used to work in a cubicle. I missed my daughter take her first steps because I was stuck to a cubicle. Why? Because if I say I created a system for a third-party company for Amazon, it all of a sudden makes them feel this big, and all of a sudden it'll make them feel like, oh, well, that's why she's successful. No, the truth is it didn't matter. I was just stuck, I was just stuck in a bad situation, and I had a degree that I didn't even get paid for, right? But I don't also bash college. I want to make this clear. I don't bash people that went to college. My mom is an educator. My sister is an educator. They're not network marketers. That's okay. They chose that other life. There's nothing wrong with that. And college it worked out for me and graduated and stuff, but I didn't choose to use the degree. But I don't bash degrees. I don't go on and say, oh, don't send your kids to college. It's pointless. There's no point for it because everybody's different. This is their journey, right? So I simply say, I used to work in a cubicle. Now, some of you are like, well, what if I'm still in that cubicle? What's my background? Are you a mom? Are you a husband? Are you, do you work at corporate? Are you a retired something? Are you a teacher? What's your background? It's okay if you're in that right now. Because when I first got started, I wasn't where I am now. So my background was, I work in a cubicle, but I was setting it up for the end. Check this out. What you didn't like about you before you found network marketing. Be vulnerable here. So for me, I didn't like that I was missing moments in my daughter's life, whether it was presently happening or it had happened, right? I didn't like that I was missing things in my daughter's life. A good friend of mine who introduced you, a good friend of mine from high school actually called me up about this thing where I could make money from social media. And I was like, yeah, but what do I have to do? I don't like have a bunch of people to sell to. And he's like, and I'll show you. Right now, it could be an extra $500 a month, or maybe it could be more. And the best part is that I got to do this all from home. And I found a way to build a solid future for my family. I didn't say I'm a 7-figure earner. I didn't say I quit my job. I didn't say that I live in $1 million house. I didn't say that I buy cars. I didn't say any of that. All I said was I missed my daughter take her first steps because I was chained to a cubicle, and a good friend of mine introduced me to something that could help me get more time with my daughter. And the best part is I could do it from social media. I didn't even have to leave my house. Boom. Okay. Is this helpful? All right. So you need to have 3 versions of that story. So screenshot this. Go ahead and screenshot this because it's going to be the background, what you didn't like about you or what you didn't like about a situation. You can even use this for your product. I'll use this for postpartum to help some of you, right? What's my background? So I just had a baby 19 months ago. And I really didn't like that after having my baby at 35 compared to 25, losing weight was completely different. And my postpartum hit me hard. A good friend of mine introduced me to a system that helped her lose her postpartum pounds in less than 6 months. So I decided to give it a try. And the best part is that it was a 30-day money back guarantee. I had nothing to lose. Then a call to action to take a look. Are you open to taking a look? If not, no worries. Woo! Yes. Yes. So yes, we're gonna drop these slides into the we're gonna drop both of my slides into the whatchamacallit, into the Facebook group. So yes, you'll have them. But how powerful is this? See, some of you are making this more difficult than it has to be because you're comparing yourself to all these freaking 7-figure earners and 6-figure earners. Dude, that doesn't matter because that is gonna actually repel someone. Okay? So you need to have 3 different stories. I used to practice my story in front of the mirror forever, and I still do it. You need to have a 60-second elevator pitch, which is like one I just said, which was probably 30 seconds. I can hear the airplane. You need to have a 3-minute share. So if someone asks you to be on stage, or someone asks you to share on a video, or someone asks you to share in a chat, or someone asks you to share on a Zoom, whatever, you have that 3-minute share where you can draw it out a little bit. And then every single one of you better have a 5-minute stage story. I'm going to stop the share a second because I need to look at you. My stage story was created in 2012. I didn't start making money in network marketing until 2014. In 2012, I remember Jason and I were not together. My husband and I were not together. And it was rough. But I knew that this was going to work. Like, I just knew network marketing was for me. And so I knew one day I would be on stage. Did I know? No. I hoped, right? I remember laying in bed and crying myself to sleep one night, coming up with my story. Like, what was that stage story? What was that 5-minute stage story? Because I knew that I wanted to be on stage and impact others, and I wanted to share my story, but I didn't feel worthy of sharing my story. So I had to craft that story using this exact example, and I cried myself to sleep that night when I crafted my story. I woke up the next day and I remembered the story I crafted, which was even more powerful. And it's been my story ever since. I missed my daughter take her first steps because I was chained to a cubicle. Doesn't talk about making millions of dollars, nothing. This is a simple process. Don't overthink this, all right? Okay, let me go back to the screen share. All right, so you need that 5-minute stage story also because you need to be visualizing, right? With the mental movie, put that into your mental movie. Hello, yeah? Okay. Here's a full-blown craft of my story. You're gonna get these slides, but I missed my daughter take her first steps when she had just turned 1 year old. It was the worst feeling I can remember ever having. I was working overtime when it happened because I was behind on my car payment and rent. Living paycheck to paycheck to barely stay above water was just such an embarrassing time for me. I went to college, got my degree in accounting, but I still couldn't keep up with my bills, especially as a single mom with one income. An old friend from high school showed me a way to make residual income from Facebook in my spare time. I decided it was time to make a decision to do more or nothing was going to change about my financial situation. This was back in 2012. Almost, 9 years later, I guess I need to update this. 6 years later? 9, 10, whoa. I don't know the math. 8 years later, my story has changed so much. I don't miss anything in my daughter's life anymore. I was on the floor with my now 19-month-old when she took her first steps. And financially, I've built a residual income and was able to walk away from my corporate blood-sucking job. Tell me, name, do you love what you do? So, the end, financially, I built a residual income. That's my stage story. That's my building authority. Some of you don't need to build authority right away. You just have to have that posture. But tell me, name, Do you love what you do? This is one of my favorite things to end with. Do you love what you do? They will give you an opening. No, I hate it. Especially right now, I feel like a lot more people are vulnerable and open because of Corona and everything that's happened. People are sharing their pain more than ever. Make a friend, find their pain, and share your story. So here's your homework. I don't know why it says during lunch, because lunch is over. Here's your homework. I want you to write out your 60-second story. Post it inside of the Facebook group. I'll pick 3 swag winners from those that post their story, and I'll announce them tomorrow. Okay? Healerdashboard.com. Let me hit play on this. Healerdashboard. Oh, all right. Oops. I don't know. I just pushed too many buttons. Here we go. Healerdashboard.com. That's where I want you to go to either do a couple of things. 1, grab your swag if you haven't already. 2, check out the times for tomorrow. All the times, day 2 is all there. Okay? Everything's on the Healer dashboard for you. If you are interested in working with me in the Moneymaker Branding Kit, you can apply there. Also, if you have not applied for the 6-figure breakfast, for those of you, that's the 3rd day, right? So for those of you that have made $100,000 in your network marketing career, you can apply for the 6-figure breakfast that we're going to be having on day 3. And so day 3, let me stop the share. On day 3 in the morning, I'm going to have a sip and slay breakfast where I'm going to do a special training for those that have earned $100,000 or more in their network marketing business. So they can apply for that on the Healer dashboard too, right? You can apply for that on the Healer dashboard. You will get a special Zoom link. There's questions that we're asking you as well. So definitely go check out the Healer dashboard because everything is there. Healerdashboard.com, as well as the Elite Academy to become an elite healer, to check out what we do in our monthly group as well. So did you guys have fun in here? I know it was a little stressful in the beginning trying to figure it all out. We will just make sure that we post these lives in the announcement section and pin it to the top. Has that been helpful?
I think so.
I think so too, because I haven't seen anybody complain about not being able to find it. So I love it. Oh, dinner time. Oh, love it. Yes, for those of you that bought the prospecting, those that bought the prospecting with me, you bought the VIP ticket, that email went out, but we're going to be emailing you again. It's not until after this event. So don't even stress it. You'll have a special link for those of you that did the VIP ticket, absolutely, for the 3 days of prospecting with me. So, healerdashboard.com. You guys, thank you for being patient today. Thank you for being incredible. I feel like this was such a successful event. And every single, well, the first day, we're not done yet, but just all of you being so patient and being incredible in here, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Please post your takeaways in the group. Do your homework. Get some rest. Drink some water. I didn't drink water. I think that's why I'm getting a little bit of a headache over here, right? This was incredible. Thank you to all of the speakers and the elite ambassadors. Sue Henry, who's been freaking killing it, answering questions, getting back to all of you. The panelists, thank you so much. And to Work Wifey. Come over. Come say bye.
I put my slippers on.
My Work Wifey, who's absolutely incredible, who I appreciate so much, you guys. Literally, this event would not be shit without her.
Smell.
I can't
Do I
smell
smell?
you. You
I
always
smell a
think you
little bit.
smell and you don't smell. She always thinks she smells. I do too, though. We're always smelling our armpits in the office. But seriously, without Marissa, this event would not have happened because literally I can't with my brain, and she's just incredible. So please show her love and say thank you so much to her as well. Ooh, they can't see your slippers. Silly.
Oh, you guys want to see them?
You want to see my pants? You guys, like, I was like, screw
They're
this.
super cute. They're leopard.
I'm like, I need to be comfy. So I went ahead and put my night-nights on.
I changed them from heels to
Wasn't this
slippers.
what I was wearing yesterday too?
I don't remember.
Hashtag real life, mom life, whatever. I have a nice shirt on. I did my makeup and my hair. It's like, what are we going to wear tomorrow? We just have to figure out the shirt. Why do we keep worrying about the whole shebang?
I think I'm like, well, I wore the dress because I was like, oh, I could do.
But I didn't even take pictures. Thank God. I'm too tired. Who wants to do all that?
Tomorrow,
fine, but I have to redo this hair. All right, we're going to have a dance party. We're going to have a dance party. We're going to do it over on my business page, though. to celebrate day one of this event. I'm gonna cry. I'm so
because
I
you know the
can't.
waterworks will come out for me, and I can't
know,
stop them.
but like this is such a big deal.
Don't
Like this is so
cry,
awesome.
I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
It's okay. If
Okay,
you
love
cry.
you guys. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance. All right, we're gonna go dance over on my business page. We'll share it into the group. I will see you guys tomorrow.